how are you?
Good, thank you. Busy, obviously, but I'm happy to be here.
Okay. We're following your recent announcement from Frostbank. There's no much data available right now, but we wanted to talk to you about it, and we want to ask you what can the players expect from Frostbank?
Okay, so there's not much info, but I can promise that will be more and more coming in the next week, so don't worry about that. So Frostbank is basically the mix of the game which we call a city builder and a survival game, or a society survival game, because you're the leader of what's supposed to be the last city on Earth. So as the leader, you not only take care of building the city, so deciding on the architecture, the buildings, and how it develops, but also as the leader, you shape that society, and you shape it by creating the laws. So in Frostbank, it's the end of the 19th century. The whole Earth got frozen because of some reasons, and you don't know what happened, but the whole civilization collapsed, and the only way to save humanity is actually to work on the steam technology, because steam generates heat and steam generates power, so that's things that you need in global iceberg. So you are working technology, you are working in the city, and as the leader, you have to make sure that your people will survive through this.
Okay, and about gameplay, how can we describe it in words? What the player will have to do to advance in the game?
Okay, so as their city builder elements are crucial for us. So you decide on buildings, you got the resources. So for example, you have to take care of your people. So you have to build a shelter. You have to find a source of food. You have to take care of healthcare or something. It's minus 30 degrees. They're starving. They're freezing. So you have to take care of the basic needs of your people. So you build the city, you build the buildings, and obviously deciding on which buildings and which technology you are developing, then different things are available for you. So for example, you may decide, okay, I'll be focused on bringing the resources from outside of the hole that I'm living, so you focus on expeditions, but you may decide, no, I'm going to go to mining, I'm just going to make everything in our town. So on the one hand, you build the city, so it's something that can be similar to like SimCity and things like that, but what's important, in SimCity, if you have a problem with crime rate, you just build like the police headquarters and you solve it, and it's not working in Frostbank, because in Frostbank, those people are like real beings, so they have their feelings, they have their thoughts. So that's when the second part of the game comes, because you're creating the laws that I've mentioned before, and laws tell people how they should behave in certain situations. So for example, you have only like 60 people on board and you don't have coal to run the machine. So what do? Maybe you have to sign the law that will allow children to work. It's not very safe, it's not very 21st century thing, but you have to remember, hard time requires desperate needs. So let's send children to work. Okay, so they're working, you're covered here, but that brings another question. So what kind of works they should do? Should we allow them to bring simple stuff, and maybe we should send them to the mines, whatever. So there's a lot of choices to make, so about every aspect of your life. So for example, people die because you were not able to help them, they died. What do you do with the dead bodies? Do you have a cemetery that is a proper way to bury a body, because you can take care to the one that passed? But on the other hand, in those conditions, you don't have time to spend on cemetery. So you say, okay, we're gonna just ditch them in the snow. Let them be there. Maybe one day you're gonna take care of them. So then that opens another window, because if you leave them in the snow, then maybe actually we can eat them, because we don't have much food here. So every meat is important. So depending on the choices, it's like a tree. So if you make a choice, that's a different branch. If you make another choice, a different branch. So each time you play, you create a different cities where people behave differently. They can be happy people. They can be people that are afraid of you. And like in this world of mine, we don't tell you that there's only one proper road to achieve the end of the game, because there are different roads, different ending of the games, and they're all the same. They're all good. But you have to deal with the consequences in your head and in your heart.
Okay, so from what you tell us, the players will making a lot of moral choices along the way. How does it fit in a campaign scenario? Does it have a campaign, or is more, or you focus on single games like SimCity used to be?
Yeah. So there will be two game modes in a game. So one is the sandbox, where you actually just can play around, try different strategies and see what the game has to offer. And there's the other way to play the game, the main for us, which is the story mode. So in the story mode, you start from the very beginning with what you see in the demo. So you as the leader have to take care of that city from the very beginning. I forgot the question.
I was
Moral choices. Yes, obviously, that's what one of the things that we learned from this War of Mine is that not many games offer you that. So we wanted to bring that to another level because in this War of Mine, you had like only few people, and those were like individual stories of few people. So they're very, it was something new for the game industry. And right now, we want to do something similar, but at different scale. So right now, you take care of the whole society, but this society is not like the mindless, NPC, whatever characters, but they have their thoughts, they have feelings, and you have to take care of their needs because you're the ruler of the city, but it doesn't mean that they can, for example, kill you because they're hoping that you will be the one that will lead them through the tough times. But at the same time, they can decide, okay, we don't need such a leader. They can just like kill you, for example. So you will be making choices, and you will be dealing with the consequences because as a leader, when you make the choice, you're not able to take it back. So, for example, if you say that kids should work, they will always work. It's not like you can say, okay, so we don't have to do it anymore. So you have to be very crucial because when you make a decision, certain doors will be open for you, but the other will be closed forever. So we have to play again to actually see what's happening. And again, just like in this War of Mine, we don't expect people to finish the game by the first try because you have to learn this world, you have to learn this game. So you have to play at least multiple times to finish it. But let's consider that you are really good at those kind of games, then you should be able to play for like 8 to 12 hours to finish the scenario mode.
okay. So from what you're telling us, I'm not picking any multiplayer modes.
No. We are really good at making single player games, and we prefer to stick to deliver the experience that we know we can do it than to make multiplayer that we are not even experienced at. So it's single player.
This War of Mine was a successful game. It was well received among most audience. Did you have to face any hardships making Frostpunk?
So actually, thanks to the success of this War of Mine, we were able to make Frostpunk a much bigger game than it used to. Because with this War of Mine, the team was around 20 people, and like the 15 of them were working on the game. And after the success of the game, we were on the crossroads, and it was like, so should we make another small game, or maybe we should go big? Let's make a bigger game than the biggest game we've ever made, and let's pull all the ideas we had and we weren't able to do because we didn't have money. Let's use them in Frostpunk game. That's why it takes us a while to finish that game, but it's much bigger than it used to be like 3 years ago. It's getting bigger every day. Right now we are trying to finish it, but it's getting much bigger every day. And you see that in the terms of graphics, in terms of gameplay quality, aesthetics, sound design. It's like everything's like, it's not AAA game, but it's not indie anymore. So actually, on one hand, developing Frostpunk is much easier because we don't have to worry about money. On the other hand, the expectations after this War of Mine are really, really high. So it's the game from the creators of this War of Mine. So people say, okay, that has to be a really good game, or we'll be screwed.
Okay, so you recently said that you've been working on Frostpunk for about 3 years.
Oh, even more. I mean, the first demo was done just before this War of Mine, the release of this War of Mine. But what's important, that game is very different from what it used to be. We were looking for the perfect match, how we can pull up the whole Steam settings, so that the game got bigger. So yeah, so I would say it's almost 3.5 years in development so far. But the way the game looks like now is the last 2.5 or 3 years. But because it looks different at the very beginning, because usually the games look different at the very beginning. But for the last 3 years, we're focused on making the game what it is today.
Do you have an estimate launch date?
Yes, it will be Q1 next year, 2018. So actually, you can finish the game from the beginning to the ending. But we said that we want to take some additional time. One, because we want to give there even better aesthetics. So we are drawing some cutscenes and things like that. And what's even more important, we want to bring it to multiple languages on the day one. So like Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, Polish, French. So there's a lot of text in the game. So it requires time just to write those texts and to translate them. So the game is almost done, and it will be released at the beginning of the next year.
How about the platforms? Surely you'll be launching on Steam, but how about consoles?
So far, the game is only PC, so I can promise you that the game will be available on the PC on the day one. And as for the other platforms, we are looking. I mean, I can't confirm anything at the moment because it's a typical PC game, mix of strategy and things like that. So obviously, the easiest way to move around and handle that is with a keyboard and mouse. But we are checking other options, and if we find anyone that we think will be the good one, then we'll make some decisions. So far, only PC.
Okay, I know that Frostbank is your star right now,
Yeah.
but I know you brought other games like Moonlighter. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, so despite making our own games, we have also the publishing program, where we try to help indie developers from different countries to publish their games. So we brought 2 games here today. One of them is Moonlighter from Spain. So Moonlighter is a story about Will, a guy that is a shopkeeper, and so you're running a store during daytime, but actually during nighttime, you have to get the items for your store. So you don't buy them, you don't find them on the street because they don't lay there. You have to go to the dungeons, slay the monsters, and get the loot from them. So it's a mix of a shopping management game and a roguelike title. So just explore the dungeons, sell items in your store, craft items, kill more monsters, get better loot, and so on. There are 5 different worlds there, and there's some ultimate goal in the game, obviously, but mostly it's about the story of a guy who's a very small shopkeeper. He becomes like a great shopkeeper and a great hero. So that's the first game. And the other one is Children of Morta. It's something that for me is a tribute to all the Diablo 2, my favorite part, because it's a mix of roguelike hack and slash game. So you're just, in this world, you're a member of the family of Bergson, and they're the guardians of children of the mountain Morta. It's a sacred place in this land. And something happens in this world, and the corruption is spreading. The evil is everywhere. So you, as a member of the family of the guardians, you have to fight that evil. So kill the monsters, find what's happening in the mountain, and defeat the ultimate goal, the ultimate evil. So it's like an RPG game. So you have 7 different characters, or 7 different characters, each one with different skills. Which one is the different items? So you're a warrior, mage, rogue, I would say archer, and different monk. So there's all different skills, different items. So you just go there, slash all the monsters, level up, and try to defeat the evil in the land.
Okay, the 2 games are about to be released or are already released?
They will be released also next year in the first half of 2018.
Also PC?
No, because Children of Morta and Moonlighter will be available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and maybe other platforms as well.
Oh, bueno. All right. And I know you're just trying to finish up Frostbank, but are you looking into new games? Are you working? You can tell us anything in advance?
Yes, so actually we are already working on our next big game. Right now it's called Project 8, so it's a code name because our F game, obviously. I can't reveal much more about it, but it's already in production. The team of talented people is working. It's around, I think, 10 people right now. It's created by Artur Ganshiniec, one of the designers of the Witcher game. I can't give you any dates, but I can tell you it will be a totally different game from everything we've done before. It's nothing like this War of Mine, it's nothing like the Frostpunk, so it's worth to wait for it.
Thank you very much for receiving us, and we hope you well, and we'll be playing around your games a little more.
Thank you very much, and I hope you like our games, because they're good. Thank you.